Good evening, scholars. Your homework tonight is a document titled Homework, Federalism. Your central question is, how do the national and state governments distribute power? Page 2, Federalism. The following text was adapted from the textbook History Alive, the United States Through Industrialism. Powers belonging to the national government. The framers of the Constitution wanted a strong national government, but they also wanted the states to keep significant powers. They accomplished both goals by creating a federal government in which power is shared between the national and state governments. You have 30 seconds to jot. Ten seconds on the jot. The Constitution gives some powers only to the national government. In general, these are powers best exercised by one central authority, such as declaring war and making treaties. The Constitution also says that only the national government can print and coin money. The framers had learned from experience that separate state currencies made no sense. Similarly, Article 1 gives Congress the power to regulate commerce, which is trade or business, with foreign nations, and among the several states, and with the Indian tribes. Known as the Commerce Clause, this provision gives the national government the power to regulate interstate commerce. For example, a state cannot try to protect its own business and industries by taxing goods from another state. Under the Articles of Confederation, many states had done just that. As a result, interstate trade threatened to grind to a halt. In effect, the Commerce Clause made the entire United States a common and open market. Your jotting time has begun. There were several advantages to giving states a common market. First, goods and resources could flow more easily across the country. It's important because different regions do different things well. New Englanders might be very good at making cloth, but their region is not good for growing cotton. Making interstate commerce easier for cloth makers and cotton growers helps both businesses thrive. Second, the common market made it easier to create large businesses that crossed state lines. This was very important to companies like those that built the nation's railroads in the 19th century. Third, the common market helped to create a single national economy. Under the Articles of Confederation, it was almost as if the country had 13 small economies. These could have never grown as diverse or powerful as the United States economy would. Your jotting time has begun. "15 seconds in the jot, looking for that key crucial information that you learned about national or federal powers and why it's important that it's separate. Powers belonging to the state. The Constitution does not spell out specific powers of the states. Instead, it says that the states keep any powers that are not given to the national government. For instance, the Constitution says nothing about schools, marriage, establishing local governments, owning property, licensing doctors, lawyers, or most crimes. The states make the laws in these areas of life. The Constitution does outline the responsibility of the states to each other. Each state must accept the laws and court decisions of other states. Similarly, states must obey legal contracts that people have made in other states. States are also required to help each other track down fleeing criminals. Finally, the Constitution does not allow one state to discriminate unreasonably against a citizen of another state. Your jotting time has begun. "15 seconds on the jot, looking for that new crucial information about state powers and why they're separate. Shared powers. Federal and state governments also share some powers. For example, both levels of government can collect taxes, build roads, and borrow money. This system of sharing powers between national and state governments is called federalism. The Constitution provides only a general framework for the sharing of powers. There was no way for the framers to spell out rules for every possible situation. The federal system continues to evolve through new laws, court decisions, and constitutional amendments. Americans may disagree about how to interpret the Constitution, but they may not ignore it. Article 6 states that the Constitution and the laws flowing from it are the supreme law of the land. This means that a state's constitution, state's laws, and a state's judicial decisions must agree with the U.S. Constitution. They must also not conflict with any other federal law or treaty. In addition, everyone who holds a state or federal office must promise to support the Constitution. You have 30 seconds to jot this section on shared powers, followed by a main idea.